Were the Leafs gassed or were the Mammoth good? I think it could be both. The Mammoth are good. Right? I don't remember Hockey Club winning like that. Let's go! It starts with an A and ends with anxiety. Off the charts levels of passion! That's just a nightmare! With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Leafs lose emphatically. Wowzers. 6-1 at the hands of the Utah Mammoth. And folks, I gotta be honest with you, it is 1:25 a.m. when I'm shooting this, and they just lost 6-1. There's not a lot to say. This is typically a video where I would be losing my mind because, oh my god, what was that? Except, it's perfectly explainable what that was, and also, the 10 games leading into this one, the Leafs went 8-0-2. They went 10 straight games getting a point. This is their first time since roughly mid-December not getting a point in a game. They just took the Colorado Avalanche to overtime in Colorado and beat them, something that has only happened 3 out of 22 times. And then after that derby, that marathon, the next night you play a well-rested Utah Mammoth team. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Mammoth at all. They played a great game. There were so many moments in that game where I was like, are these guys all holding 2 or 3 sticks at the same time? That's how it felt. The Leafs couldn't generate anything, but it's also the most schedule loss of all time. Dude, it was only 1-0 after 1, and you could trick yourself into thinking the Leafs were sort of in this. No. Even though they relatively minimized the damage from the Mammoth in the first period, they're still down. Michael Carcone, former Leafs contract, never actually played for the Leafs, but he was a Marley. Of course he scores. They, and by they I mean the Leafs, did not generate a gosh darn thing. Not to mention, the Mammoth scored at the end of the first period, and it didn't count just because the ref screwed it up. Second period, Genther shoots the lights out. Was Hill to be sharp? No. Genther also had 1,000,001 chances, and he's never going to pass up an opportunity to shoot it. If you're a fantasy hockey sicko, you know that already. Dylan Genther, after this game, is 7th in the NHL in shots on goal. The only people ahead of him are Alex DeBrincat, Kirill Kaprizov, Jason Robertson, Cutter Gauthier, Connor McDavid, and Nathan McKinnon. Is that a good list, yes or no? And he's doing this, by the way, playing barely over 17 minutes a game. And he did this on what was basically Utah's third line. And you might be like, what do you mean basically? What I mean by basically is no line with Dylan Genther on it as a third line. Oh, also he has 23 goals in the season, and only 4 of them have come on the power play. Demon! JJ Peterka makes it 4-0, and I'm sitting there, it's past midnight, going, fellas, I feared the Leafs might not win this game. Oh, and it was still the second period. Early in the third, Calle Järnkrok whacks at it and scores. Shutouts ruined, hooray. I loved Oliver Ekman-Larsson going over to him like, yeah! He's got this look on his face like, yeah! Trying to rally the troops like something might happen, and something did happen. After 10 minutes of scoreless hockey, Mammoth scored again. McBain got one. Daniil Boot got the one that he should have gotten in the first period. The Leafs got caved. And you can trick yourself into being like, oh yeah, this is all Hildeby's fault because he didn't have the best game. They were outshot 40-20. The Leafs blocked an additional 22. Like, I would break down individual goals and be like, oh yeah, this guy's out of position, or this guy, or oh, the effort. Guys, this is a burn the taper. You burn the tape. Wait, some of you are too young. You might think that you've never seen a videotape, have you? Scratch the DVD, even that. Delete your account. This is a delete your account kind of game. Now, when you string a bunch of those together, like the Leafs were doing earlier this season, you don't delete it. You pry your eyes open and you force them to watch it until they stop doing it. Guys, this might sound like loser mentality. 8-0-2 in their last 10. Second half of a back-to-back after playing Colorado. Again, I'm not taking a thing away from Utah. They're a good team, a fast team. They were very attentive defensively. They were smothering all night. And Karel Vejmelka continues to be one of the most underrated goalies out there. It would have been a miracle if they won this game. And even though you might not remember what it's like for the Leafs to lose, that does not mean they were going to win every game for the rest of the season. And besides, let's look ahead a little bit. Thursday night, it's a 9:30 local start. The Leafs play Vegas in Vegas. This is the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on Mitch Marner for the first time. And I gotta say, looking at the schedule, God, the NHL couldn't have done this worse. Because that's the ticket, right? That's the ticket you want. That's the hottest ticket in town. A guy who's been like a cornerstone of your franchise for the better part of a decade. He leaves. It wasn't all that great the way he left. Whichever way you look at it. And now he's coming back. NBA looks at a situation like this and they go, hey, there's dislike here, there's dislike there. We're going to make you butt heads on Christmas Day. NHL looks at it and they go, okay, here's what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to have you guys play like twice in 2 weeks, which is honestly the only good part about it, maybe. But the first one is going to be in Vegas. And it's going to be on a school night. It's going to be on a Thursday night. But don't worry, Toronto, you get your turn. Oh, I bet we do. Hockey night in Canada, this is it! Dude, look at the Leafs schedule. It's the one Saturday they have off. One! And it's Marner's return to Toronto on a random Friday in January! Why? Regardless of why, now that they've lost this game very bigly, you can change your focus a bit. Because we've been distracted by this win streak. It's been a lovely distraction. And the fact that the Leafs reclaimed a playoff spot, and by reclaimed, I mean claimed for the first time, I think, all season, hey, we were all in a pretty good mood. And every game was so important to the Leafs that we were just living in the moment. Don't you forget what the first 2.5 months of this season was like. Every night was like this one. The worst efforts you've ever seen, the worst outcomes you've ever seen, the worst results in the standings that you've ever seen. And what were your mentions filled with? What was every comment section filled with? What was everyone chirping the Leafs with? Looks like you could use Marner. Where'd those go? Where did all those go? You forgot how much you were looking forward to this game. Whether you love the Leafs or hate them. You guys could use Marner. That's going to come back with a vengeance if Vegas does anything or if he does anything. And if the Leafs come out on top, the opposite will be true. So that's what I would love to hear from you down below. What are your thoughts now that we're 48 hours or so away from the Leafs' first ever game against Mitch Marner? You had this circled on your calendar. Life happened, so you forgot about it. But now it's here. Two teams in different conferences, different divisions with virtually identical records, but lots of story to be told and lots of story still to be told. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Hopefully the Leafs rebound from this one, because coming up next might be the most anticipated game of the season so far.